This ignorant individual just told me that passport bros don't come to Africa because they don't like dark-skinned women. That's basically what he said. Black. Amazing. I feel like the history books have failed not just the American household, but households around the world. You know what I'm saying? Because I try to preach and preach and preach that a lot of the things that I have seen and I see in Africa are not things that I read about or seen in pictures regarding Africa when I was going to school. Africa has always been a painted picture in my eyes of just poverty and struggling and hunger. I guess those were the three main things that I had my initial impressions of Africa from, reading books and going to class, middle school, high school, and so forth. But as I've traveled, I've learned that that's not true. I've learned that, first and foremost, poverty is everywhere, but some countries in Africa are less hit with the poverty stick than others. But to get back on topic, to say that Africa is full of dark-skinned women is just an ignorant statement. 9 times out of 10, or doggone 10 times out of 10, that individual has not been to Africa, right? And they were easily influenced by what they read or what, their parents who probably haven't traveled, grandparents who probably haven't traveled, told them. Because sometimes not knowing something showcases that what you do know is the truth, because there's nothing to dispute what you think you already know, Like if I look up in the sky or someone tells me, hey, the sky is green, and that's been in my mind for 20, 30 years, no one can come and say, hey, the sky is blue, Or that dress that a celebrity had a few years ago when everyone was trying to figure out what color it was, and someone says blue, someone says green. Sometimes the perception is not always the reality. There are dark-skinned women in Africa, of course, just like there are dark-skinned women in South America, just like there are dark-skinned women in America. But there are also light-skinned women in Africa, just like there are light-skinned women in South America, just like there are light-skinned women in America, I can name a few countries where the women are lighter. Morocco. And some of y'all probably didn't know Morocco was in Africa. Ethiopia. There's quite a few countries where there are light-skinned women, and don't get me wrong, there are light-skinned women where there are dark-skinned women. It's not like, hey, the whole country, everyone is dark. Like, that really doesn't exist. But unfortunately, people are blind, They only get information from history books, TV, Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and that's can't tell a story, It's only telling somebody's story that they have interpreted for you, because you have no other means of questioning it. But just saying that Africa is full of dark-skinned women, and that's why people or passport bros don't come here, is ignorant. And don't get me wrong, everyone has preferences, and that's fine, but, do not be ignorant with your statements. you know. And I'm not arguing with nobody that, you know what I'm saying, ain't been to, you know, Africa, uh, several countries in Africa. I'm just not having that discussion, but unfortunately, the man has brainwashed us with ignorance. If you're into light-skinned women, uh, come to Africa. You know, don't say, "Hey, I'm going to Asia, I'm going to South America because they're light." That shows you're ignorant. You don't know any better, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, that's fine. You gotta be some ignorant people in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everyone can't be smart. But just don't believe everything you see, but believe everything that you see with your own eyes. Until next time.